Hello and welcome to the Michael Mamas Show. I'm your host, Michael Mamas. We're coming to you from Mount Soma, home of the Sri Someshwar Temple in the mountains of western North Carolina. And I just want to talk about what's going on in the world and that there's a lot of things like, if you're into it, all these different, like Edgar Casey, Gene Dixon. Had you heard of Baba uh, Vanga, Scotty?
Yeah, I've heard the name. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a blind. She's passed away now, but Bulgaria, I think.
Yeah.
They're all saying 2026, which I thought was interesting because it's a long time ago they were saying that, and it so correlates with what we've been saying. I didn't know they were saying that. But anyway, there's a thing called cosmic. Things rattling. It's windy out. There's a thing called cosmic weather, and you don't hear a lot about it, but I think it's very real. And maybe with the Voyager uh, and things that have been going on with it in outer space, it seems like that, at least indirectly, has started to get into the news some. But the idea is that when we travel through space, when the Earth, the solar system, all that, when it travels through space, it's going through different environments. And these environments have their own distinct weather patterns. And those weather patterns have a very profound effect on psyche, on human psyche, on the environment, on everything. And it's being said now that we're like traveling through an area that has a significant effect, and it all correlates to this phase transition. It's all just mechanics, really. And it's interesting because these psychics, or whatever you want to call them, they were saying that we're into a crazy time now, and they were saying this, of course, decades and decades ago, where people just aren't thinking right, and people can't think right, and they're all just kind of jazzed, uh, and I think if you just look around, not just on the news, but people in general, in our own lives. Scotty, you and I were talking, and you were saying you're noticing it out there in LA, and I've certainly noticed it around here, and in the local news, and of course national news. And if I mean, this sounds incredible, even to me as I speak it out, but nevertheless, the idea is that there's this. It's really windy. There's this influence that's happening that's going to bring about this phase transition we've been talking about. But as a result, the next all through 2000 and into 2026. So the point is, if you take a look at these isolated things and how all these different perspectives are going wild. It's just unleashed, and everybody's perspective. They're pushing it and arguing and fighting and conflict and geez. And I think the internet contributes to that too, because people are now exposed to so much more than they ever were in history, really. And I feel sorry for the kids. I mean, they're just bombarded with so many ideas and so many perspectives and so many convictions and so much polarization. It's hard enough for kids growing up as it was, but as it is now, very difficult. Um, but see, while we're in the phase transition, you know, there's that idea that progress doesn't always feel like progress while you're in it, because there's so much chaos, there's so much change, that it's hard to keep perspective that this is a phase transition. That's the big picture. And we are going into a really great time. And you don't always, have to feel confident that you're going to be successful. To be successful, in fact, in the process of becoming successful, and that applies to the whole world, not just to individuals, but it doesn't feel like it. But that is what's going to shake out. And if you take a step back and really look at it without getting too caught up in the weeds, so many great things are happening. Advancements in medicine, artificial intelligence. I talked about peptides and their potential, and with health and healing. So much knowledge is coming out. We're in for great times. We're in for great times. And that's really, Scotty, that's the gist of what I wanted to say, just a reminder. And to realize the power of the influence of the weather. And I'm talking about the cosmic weather here. And that's all very real. But that's really just a little touch and base with you all. And that's all I have to say this week for now, at any rate. Anything else, Scotty?
No, I think you got it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Just hang in there. Progress doesn't always feel like progress, but we are progressing through this time, you see. Okay, thanks for listening, and we will talk with you again next week.